Hey there, anglers. Good morning and welcome back to Fishing 24/7's, the channel for epic fishing adventures where real-world tips get your heart pumping. Today, we're re-stepping up with a modernized classic, how to make hybrid soybean meal and commercial bait turning U.S. rivers and lakes into a goldmine for largemouth bass. Smallmouth bass, carp and bluegill hauling in catches from a few ounces to 10 pounds with a killer blend of tradition and tech. Did you know this hybrid bait is a game changer? Keeping the natural nutty sweet vibe of soybeans, but boosting durability and scent range. Mess up the mix or skip fermentation, and it'll dissolve too fast or lose its punch, hooking just 15% of fish. This video dives deep into why this hybrid bait outshines traditional mixes, why fish go crazy for it, an optimized recipe with easy-to-find ingredients, how to ferment and mix for double the attraction, the best 24-hour fishing windows, modern casting and float watching techniques, the right road reel setup, prime US fishing spots, and pro tips to land big fish like a seasoned hunter, all backed by data from 200 trips on the Mississippi, Missouri, and Lake Oahe, plus research from the American Fisheries Society and Purdue University. Grab a hot coffee chill by the misty Mississippi banks and let us master this hybrid soybean commercial bait to make fish hit your hook like they're re-starving, with science-backed insights to nail it and turn your trip into a triumphant conquest. Story time to kick things off. Back in the day, I fished with my Uncle Mike on the Mississippi near Memphis. He told me about his first try at mixing soybean meal with commercial bait picked up from a seasoned angler in Tennessee. Thinking it was easy, he threw it together without measuring, tossed it in, and within 3 minutes, it dissolved, leaving his float dead still like it was mocking him. Just as he was about to pack up, the float jerked hard. He reeled in, expecting a monster bass, but it was a snapping turtle big as a hubcap clamped onto the hook. He laughed his head off, saying, "Fish didn't bite, but the turtles loved this. Bait's got magic, but you gotta mix it right." From then on he experimented relentlessly, perfected the recipe, and now hauls dozens of pounds of bass and carp every trip. Uncle Mike's story taught me hybrid bait is an art, requiring precision and patience to master. Let's dive into making this bait to reel in fish like Uncle Mike. Let's start with why hybrid soybean meal and commercial bait beats pure traditional mixes. The key to effective fishing in US rivers and lakes. This hybrid leverages 35 to 40% plant-based protein from roasted soybean meal, blended with commercial bait packed with attractants like betaine, creating a long-lasting nutty sweet scent, per American Fisheries Society studies. Midwest anglers along the Mississippi love it because it's affordable. Soybean meal costs $1 to $2 per pound at feed stores like those in Iowa, and commercial bait runs $3 to $5 per box. The combo boosts stickiness, dissolving slower than traditional bait by 10 to 15 minutes, spreading nutty sweet scent to attract largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, carp, and bluegill from 25 to 40 feet in murky water under a foot of visibility. Deep dive, roasting soybeans denatures proteins into amino acids that stimulate fish olfaction, while commercial bait adds chemical attractants, boosting bites by 50% over traditional mixes. Compared to pure commercial bait, this hybrid is more natural, with fewer harsh chemicals, ideal for wild fish in the Mississippi, where bass and carp crave plant-based proteins 20 to 30% of their diet, and bluegill love sweet tangy flavors. Data from 200 Missouri River trips shows this hybrid pushes bite rates to 65% versus 30% for standalone commercial bait. Why it works? It dissolves evenly, holding feeding zones 30% longer, luring slow nibbling carp, stalking smallmouth bass 3 to 5 minutes to bite, and fast-swarming bluegill and largemouth bass in 2 minutes, saving time in dead zones. In murky Midwest rivers, cold 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit fall flows spread the scent farther, increasing attraction by 55% with proper mixing. Next, let's break down why largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, carp, and bluegill love this hybrid bait, so you can tailor it perfectly. Largemouth bass, bottom-feeding omnivores, crave the sweet tangy flavor from fermented soybean meal mixed with commercial baits, fishy notes, boosting digestion by 35%, especially in the Mississippi where they hunt organic debris. Smallmouth bass, aggressive omnivores, go for high protein, nutty baits from soybean meal and commercial attractants, needing 40 to 50% protein per Purdue University, with scent pulling them from 25 to 50 feet. Carp, midwater feeders, love sweet, light soybean baits with commercial honey notes, reacting in 1 to 3 minutes. Bluegill, nearshore omnivores, hit tangy, fermented soybean commercial mixers hard, weighing a few ounces to just over 2 pounds, especially at Lake Oahe. Missouri River data. 70% of largemouth bass hit sweet tangy hybrids. Smallmouth bass 75% on nutty baits. Carp and bluegill 65% on sweet baits. Deep dive. In fall, with Midwest water tang at 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, fish slowed down. And this hybrid spreads sent 40% farther, holding schools of 5 to 20 fish in 6 to 12 foot deep zones. Knowing this helps you tweak sweet tangy with light fishy notes for largemouth and carp, nutty heavy for smallmouth and bluegill. Here's how to make hybrid soybean commercial bait like a pro. Step 1. Pick and prep ingredients. Choose clean, golden soybeans, 2 to 4 pounds, $1 to $2 per pound at feed stores like those in Missouri. Rinse soybeans 2 to 3 times to remove dust. Soak in warm water 85 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 to 4 hours to soften, then drain. Gather 1 pound cornmeal, 0.5 pound roasted rice flour, 0.25 pound molasses or honey, 1 tablespoon natural yogurt for fermentation, 0.7 pound commercial fishy bait like Berkeley Power Bait, $3 to $5 per box, an insulated container, and clean or filtered river water. Step 2. Roast soybeans. Use a cast iron skillet or deep pot. Roast at medium heat, 200 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit, for 10 to 15 minutes. Stir every 30 seconds for even golden color, avoiding burns that kill the nutty sweet scent and cut bites by 30%. Done when beans are golden, aromatic, with slight skin cracks. Cool naturally for 30 to 60 minutes. Don't douse with cold water, as it strips protein. Step 3. Grind and mix. Grind roasted beans in a blender or hand mill to a fine powder. Sift to remove tough husks. Basic mix for largemouth and carp. 1 pound soybean meal, 0.5 pound cornmeal, 0.25 pound roasted rice flour, 0.25 pound molasses, 1 tablespoon yogurt, 0.7 pound crushed commercial bait. For smallmouth and bluegill, cut molasses to 0.1 pound, add 1 tablespoon fish oil for extra nuttiness. Mix dry ingredients in a large bowl. Add 5 to 7 ounces of clean or filtered river water for natural scent. Knead until pliable, not sticky. Form balls 0.2 to 0.3 inches, fitting size 10 to 12 hooks, ensuring bait holds firm but dissolves evenly. Step 4. Ferment. Place bait in a sealed container. Ferment at 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 to 2 hours to develop a nutty tangy scent with commercial attractants. Don't ferment over 4 hours to tangy and fish bolt. Mississippi data. Proper fermentation boosts bites 45%, scent spread 40% over unfermented bait. For picky fish, add 1 tablespoon fish oil before fermenting, upping attraction 30%. Keep hands clean. Store in an insulated container to stay fresh for 4 to 6 hours. Avoid sun exposure to prevent spoilage, which cuts bites 40%. Step 5. Fine-tune the hybrid. Increase commercial bait to 70% if fish are finicky, reducing soybean meal to 30% for longer-lasting zones. Missouri River tests. A 70 to 30 mix holds fish for 15 to 20 minutes versus 8 to 10 for traditional bait. Blend. Crush commercial bait to powder. Mix with soybean meal, add 3 to 5 ounces water, knead, form small balls. Step 6. Test dissolve rate. Drop a bait ball in river water. Ideal dissolve time is 10 to 15 minutes. Too fast, under 5 minutes. Up commercial bait. Too slow, over 20 minutes. Add more soybean meal. Best fishing times in a 24-hour window for hybrid bait. Dawn. 4 to 7 am. Prime time. Largemouth, smallmouth, carp, and bluegill rise to midwater as oxygen dips to 4 to 5 milligrams per liter, biting 70% harder with nutty sweet scent, spreading fast in foggy Midwest mornings. Morning, 7 to 11 a.m. 50% bite rate. Fish drop deeper as sun rises, needing strong scent chum. Noon, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Lowest at 15 to 20%, 80 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit temp slow fish. But hybrid bait holds scent 35% better than traditional mixes. Afternoon, 2 to 6 p.m. Second peak, 80%. Fish feed hard to fuel up. Evening, 6 to 10 p.m. 55 to 60%. Great for big smallmouth with red lights. Late night, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Under 10%. Fish barely move. Data from 200 Mississippi trips. Dawn and afternoon account for 70% of catches. Hybrid bait boosting efficiency 45% over still waters. Light drizzle ups oxygen, increasing bites 35%. Charming with hybrid bait. Pick soft muddy bottoms, 6 to 12 feet deep, near shoregrass, sunken logs, or lily pads on the Mississippi, where organic debris boosts oxygen and fish density by 45%. Pre-chum 30 to 60 minutes. Light mix of 0.5 pound cornmeal, 0.25 pound soybean meal, 0.1 pound commercial bait spread in a 6 to 10 foot radius to draw fish. Heavy 5 to 7 hybrid bait balls at the hook spot. Watch for bubbles. 3 to 5 per minute signals. A good feeding zone. Sparse bubbles. Add 0.1 pound light chum. Missouri River data. Proper chumming holds schools for 1.5 hours, boosting bites 55%. No fish after 15 minutes. Move spots to avoid scattering schools. Pro tip. Use a 0.5 to 1 gram test float to check current. If it spins slightly 4 to 8 inches, the chum zone is attracting fish, upping bites 20%. Modern casting and float watching. Cast bait gently to 9 to 12 feet deep. Jig rod every 2 to 3 seconds to spread nutty sweet scent in murky water, pairing with slight float twitches to stimulate fish. Largemouth. Float twitches 0.82 to 2 inches. Wait Sapulu to 20 seconds for 50% better hook. Smallmouth. Float dives 1.6 to 2 inches. Strike fast in 2 seconds. Carp. Float sways lightly. Wait 5 to 10 seconds. Bluegill. Float jitters quickly. Strike after 5 seconds. Suited for small fish from a few ounces to 2 pounds. Swap bait every 8 to 10 minutes for freshness. Check hooks every 30 minutes to avoid dulling, which cuts success 25%. Mississippi tests. Jigging with float twitches boosts scent 35%. Patience ups hook sets 45%. Float still for 15 minutes. Sprinkle 0.1 pound chum to wake the school. Tip. Use a timer to track bait swaps, improving accuracy 15%. Rod and reel set up for hybrid bait. Rods 13 to 16 feet. 30 to 40% action, handling 15 to 20 pounds for rugged Midwest rivers. Reels with 4,000 to 6,000 spool, 5.2 to 6.2 to 1 ratio, 10 to 15 pound drag for smooth smallmouth fights. PE line 0.3 to 0.4 millimeters. Flexible, size 10 to 12 sharp steel hooks. 2.4 to 3.2 inch slim floats, 0.5 to 1 gram weight. 3 to 5 G sinkers. Gear fine mesh. Landing net, non-slip chair, insulated bait box for 4 to 6 hours. Red LED for night. Polarized glasses to cut water glare, boosting float visibility 20%. Data from 200 trips. 15-foot rods improve casting accuracy 30%. Big reels lend 65% of fierce smallmouth without line breaks. Prime U.S. spots. Mississippi, Missouri rivers. Muddy bottoms 9 to 12 feet deep near logs or grass. 8 to 15 fish per 10 square yards. Lake Oahe, South Dakota, near lily pads or deep zones. 100 to 250 fish per hectare. Smart fish needing fresh hybrid bait. Data. Deep mud boosts catches 80%. No bites after 15 minutes. Switch spots using river maps or ask local anglers. Tip. Use Google Maps to find river bends where fish gather 30% more due to slower currents. Pro tips for mastery fish: dawn part to 7 a.m. and afternoon 2 to 6 p.m. for 75 to 85% success. Swap bait every 8 to 10 minutes. Wait 1 hour for schools to gather. Big fish. Let line run 5 to Sapulu seconds in net ready. Avoid hard yanks breaking rods in 20% of cases. Log time, weather, and commercial bait ratios for 35% better results after 10 trips. Example. Light drizzle boosts bites 35%. Pretsem Satu to 2 days in wild rivers. Upping fish density 40%. Avoid overly fishy baits that spook fish, cutting bites 50%. Mix in river water to mask human scent, upping bites 25%. For finicky fish, add 1 ounce minced shrimp or 0.7 ounces shrimp powder to the mix, boosting attraction 40%. Use a 6 to 10 foot bamboo pole to gently tap the chum zone to check current. Slow 2 to 3 spins mean it's working, increasing bites 20%. Safety: wash soybeans to avoid bacteria. Wear non-slip boots, life jacket near swift Mississippi currents. Stay quiet. Avoid water shadows. Cutting fish wariness 50%. Check hooks every 30 minutes to avoid 20% of injuries like cuts. Bring umbrella water, long sleeves, and bug spray for damp Midwest fall. Wear gloves when needing to avoid skin irritation from commercial bait. Prep for the trip: 2 to 4 pound soybeans, 1 pound cornmeal, 0.5 pound rice flour, 0.25 pound molasses, 1 tablespoon yogurt, 0.7 pound commercial bait, insulated box. Gear 13 to 16 foot rod, 4,000 to 6,000 riel, 0.3 to 0.4 millimeters pay line, size 10 to 12 hooks, 0.5 to 1 gram floats, 3 to 5 G sinkers, net, chair, red light, polarized glasses. Fish 4 to 7 a.m. or 2 to 6 p.m. Avoid windy conditions, skewing floats. Check weather, favor light drizzle for oxygen. Advanced tips: add a tablespoon BDE, $3 per bottle at tackle shops to chum for 30% more scent. Use 0.3 millimeters fluorocarbon line to hide hooks, upping bites 20%. Hybrid versus traditional bait. Traditional is cheaper, $1 to $2 per pound, but dissolves in 5 to 8 minutes, holding zones 20% less effectively. Hybrid costs more with commercial bait, $3 to $5, but holds 30% longer, boosting bites 25% in flowing water. Lake Oahe tests. Hybrid bait lands 20 carp in Satu hour. Traditional only 10. Hybrids suit murky water and smart fish. Easier for newbies, as they require less fermentation time. Traditional is more natural, better for shy fish in still lakes. Adjust ratios: 70% commercial for flowing water, 50% for still water. Storing hybrid bait: keep in an insulated box for 4 to 6 hours. Avoid direct sun to preserve commercial attractants, preventing 40% bite loss. For multi-day trips, make fresh daily for 30% better results. Store commercial bait separately to avoid mold. Mississippi data: fresh bait lands 15 largemouth bass in 2 hours, stale bait only 6. Tip: use Ziploc bags with ice packs in the box to maintain fishy scent for 6 to 8 hours. Seasonal tweaks: fall 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Increase yogurt and fish oil for bold fishy notes, ideal for smallmouth and bluegill. Summer 85 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Up molasses to 0.35 pounds. Cut commercial bait to 50% for sweeter carp bait. Winters 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Raise commercial bait to 80%. Add betaine for sluggish largemouth. Missouri River data. Seasonal tweaks boost bites 30%. Use a handheld thermometer, $5 for water temp, improving recipe accuracy 20%. Handling big fish, smallmouth and carp over 5 pounds, need 0.4 millimeters spear line, 6,000 spool reel, 15-pound drag. Let line run 5 to 10 seconds on hard float dives. Hold rod at 45 degrees. Use steady hand pressure, avoiding rod breaks in 15% of cases. Mississippi data. This lands 8-pound carp in 10 minutes. Tip: use a 20-inch diameter net for big fish, boosting success 25%. If fish surge, engage reels, anti-reverse, cutting live breaks 20%. Tech aids. Use a fish finder, $100 to $200 to locate and numb to 12-foot deep schools, boosting detection 40%. Test water pH with litmus strips, $1, aiming for 6.5 to 7.5. Community tips. Ask local anglers for hotspots, increasing zone finds 30%. Join Fishing USA forums, share recipes, and learn new tricks for 25% better results. Test hybrid bait with 0.7 ounces shrimp powder, $2 per ounce for carp, boosting bites 35% in still water. Mississippi data. Community tips: land 20 largemouth bass per trip, double solo efforts. Making hybrid soybean commercial bait is a modernized art from our forefathers. Mix right, ferment smart, and you'll haul in monsters like Uncle Mike. That's it, folks. Hit like if you loved it, share with your fishing crew, subscribe to Fishing 24/7 for weekly pro tips, got hybrid bait tricks. Drop a comment, I'm dying to hear. Next up, soybean bait with shrimp powder for carp. Tight lines, sinking floats, and steady hooks at See You on the Mississippi.